What's up, sisters? This is your boy, Boof, and welcome back to the channel for another weekly video covering the best new mods for Baldur's Gate 3. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day, because today we have another selection of really cool, fun, and useful mods for you to use in your runs. We have a wide range of mods, including some new weapons and gear, updates to some base game spells and abilities, a newly updated class, a few cosmetics, and some really great quality of life mods. Before we get into it, thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, let me know by liking the video, commenting your thoughts down below, and subscribing to the channel for more Baldur's Gate 3 modding videos. But without further ado, let's hop right on into the mods. The first mod that I want to talk about today is something that I am legitimately way too excited for. Jewelry Crafting by Chronixa. You heard right. This mod adds a jewelry crafting kit and several crafting recipes you can purchase from vendors across Faerun. This mod finally gives us a really fun use for all those metal bars, gems, and spare scrolls you probably have laying around, which you can now use to create your own unique rings and amulets. The effects of the jewelry you can craft varies from simple stat bonuses to different elemental effects and even some legendary items. If we look here, we can pull up the crafting menu and try our hand at making one of these new rings. If we pull up, we can get the jewelry crafting kit, which can be purchased either from Damon in the Grove, or I just grabbed it on this playthrough from the Glitter Gala in the lower city Baldur's Gate, near the Baldur's Gate waypoint. And if we open the jewelry crafting kit here, it spawns up this great little thing here. We don't have any recipes with us, but we are going to go ahead and get some. The different crafting tomes are available at Tolna Tomemonger, at Sorcerer's Sundries in the lower city, or you can find it at different vendors throughout the game, from Quartermaster Tally, Damon, and Roa Moonglown. But since they are for sale here, we are going to go ahead and purchase them. Now that we have two of our crafting tomes, we can open up crafting tome number 1 and see what kind of things are available for the early game. You can craft things with a bronze bar, jade, and 1 scroll of featherfall to create a ring of balanced landing. You can create the amulet of momentum with a bronze bar, 1 topaz, and 1 scroll of longstrider. This is really cool because there's a bunch of different options here for a bunch of different things. The amulet of resurrection, 1 gold bar, 1 ruby, and 1 scroll of true resurrection. If we pop out of this book and open up the Jewelry Crafting Tome 3, we can see that we have a few really powerful options available to us. We have the Amulet of Sanguine Resilience, 1 gold bar, 1 bloodstone, and 1 scroll of Vampiric Touch. The Frost King Pendant, 1 silver bar, 1 diamond, and 1 scroll of Fire Shield Chill. This is really cool. We get the Vampire's Gift, which costs 1 silver bar, 1 ruby, and 1 scroll of Eye Bite. Let's see if we can't craft this one for ourselves. This one requires a silver bar, a ruby, and a scroll of Eye Bite. So we are going to open up our jewelry crafting kit. And once we have this open, we're going to pop a silver ingot in there. And then we're going to apply a ruby. Whatever, I'll just put the 5. And then we are going to top that off with a scroll of Eye Bite. And now that we have our silver ingot, our ruby, and our scroll of Eye Bite in here, we are going to combine them. And now we have this really cool ring called the Vampire's Gift. This is obviously one of the legendary rings that you can create. The other ones are not as powerful, but are still really fun because you made them yourself. With this one, we get While Not Obscured, gain disadvantage on saving throws. We like the darkness as a vampire. Vampire's Gift, you are resistant to necrotic damage, while obscured, gain advantage on saving throws and attack rolls. So that's really good. If you're in the sunlight, you're going to have difficulty, and if you're in the darkness, then you're going to have advantage on some really great things. You also get Constitution up +2, up to 22, and you get a vampire form. Alternatively, if we load up our crafting box here with a silver ingot, a black diamond, and a scroll of Conjure Elemental, we can create a brand new amulet. The new amulet that we have is called the Amulet of Elemental Transmutation. It gains 2 abilities called Well Focused, gain advantage on Constitution saving throws, and Intelligence +2 up to a score of 22, and you get Elemental Transmutation. If we go ahead and pop ourselves out of turn-based mode and put this amulet on ourselves, we now have Elemental Transmutation. Magically assume the shape of a Myrmidon, and we can turn ourselves into different forms of Myrmidons as a just wizard, and without being a druid. We can be an air Myrmidon, an earth Myrmidon, a fire Myrmidon, or a water Myrmidon. Let's turn ourselves into a water Myrmidon just for the hell of it. Boom! We are now an earth Myrmidon, and we have all the cool abilities that come with that, including Healing Vapors, Explosive Icicle, Elemental Warp, Hemel Strike. For all intents and purposes, we are just have a new form that we can use with this really cool amulet that we crafted ourselves. Really powerful and really fun. I really like this mod. Next up, we have a few mods that I think go together really well. Have you ever wanted to play as a skeleton commanding an army of other skeletons? Well, now you can. First, we have the Skeleton Race by Half-Squid. This mod adds a playable skeleton race so you can run around Faerun and tell everyone, "I've got a bone to pick with you." The skeleton race has some unique features, including a -2 to all stats, because you are ultimately a skeleton with no muscles or brain or anything but bones. So at least it kind of makes sense. You do also get dark vision, resistance to non-magical slashing and piercing damage, resistance to cold damage, immunity to poison, poison damage and necrotic damage, and vulnerability to bludgeoning and radiant damage. So you have very similar abilities and resistances and strengths to other skeletons in the game. For all intents and purposes, you are a skeleton. We can then combine this mod with the Necromancy ++ and the Veil of Death mods by Larian. Necromancy ++ makes some really cool adjustments to the base game necromancy spells. For instance, Animate Dead can now summon up to 7 skeletons when you upcast it to a 6th level spell slot, and can also summon other types of skeletons, including the Skeletal Guard, the Skeletal Mage, and Siege Skeletons. The Skeletal Guards are tankier versions of the base game melee skeletal summons. The Mage can cast powerful spells like Festering Corpse and Ice Storm, and the Siege Skeletons wield large ballistas that deal bludgeoning damage and also has a battering ram. Additionally, the 6th level spell Create Undead can now summon a Skeletal Champion. The Skeletal Champion wears heavy plate armor, wields a halberd, and comes with the Sentinel feat, so that's really great and super powerful, and it just gives you another use. Instead of being able to call in a mummy, you can call in this big Skeletal Champion. Even more, this mod removes the requirement for corpses in order to summon your undead warriors. But if you do want to hoard corpses in your inventory, you can now use Corpse Explosion to blow up a dead body for 10d8 bludgeoning damage within a small radius. That is really fun and just gives a ton of new variability for how you want to play a necromancer. The Veil of Death mod by the same creator, Larian, adds a new cloak for you to use, which gives you a unique Create Undead spell, which allows you to summon a Death Shepherd. So now, with all 3 of these mods together, you can play as a skeletal necromancer wizard, summon your own army of skeletons, and a Death Shepherd so you can overwhelm your enemies with the undead power of Merkel. As an aside, this pairs really well with the Scythe of Merkel mod, which is made by the same creator, which adds Merkel's Scythe as a usable weapon, gives you Finger of Death, Call of the Damned. Creatures have an advantage on saving throws against your necromancy spells. This is really fun and just fully completes the necromancer build that allows you to do a full-on Merkel style. It is really cool. Speaking of corpses, looting every individual body after winning a combat encounter can sometimes be a little bit of a hassle, right? Auto Loot Corpses by SwissFred57 is a mod which creates a new toggleable passive ability that automatically loots enemies right at the end of combat and places your loot into a special weightless bag in your inventory. How convenient! You will never forget to loot a body again because now it happens automatically when you use this mod. It will automatically loot everything within a 24-foot radius as soon as you finish your combat, and looted corpses are marked with a green beam for easy identification. So that is really awesome. In case there's something you missed, you can go ahead and grab anyone that doesn't have the green beam. As it mentions here, the backpack can also just be used for storing items independently from the passive, toggled on or off. So you basically have a bag of holding for free with this mod. Really cool. Our next mod is the Scrounger Class homebrew by Carbine. This is a wild class that uses freaky biomechanical summons and chemical engineering to create new custom consumables, unleash bioengineered abominations, and modify your own genetic code. Although this mod previously existed on the in-game mod manager, the creator had to re-upload it with a new patch to account for an error that was making it not properly work. So this is effectively the new standard for this class mod. This class uses intelligence for its primary spellcasting ability and can use the Scrounger's Fabricator to craft upgrades and add-ons for your special hazard navigation suit that gets stronger as you level up. You start off the game with basic fabrication, and as you level up, you can go to advanced fabrication, where you will be able to fabricate advanced capsules, fabricate advanced bombs, advanced ammo, and advanced concoctions. As you get better, you can get superior fabrications and then legendary fabrications. If we fabricate a handheld supernova here, since we have crafted ourselves a handheld supernova, we can see here it is a grenade that does 10d10 force damage. This is really cool. Upon detonation, unleashes a devastating supernova that tears the world asunder and chars the very earth, dealing 10d10 force damage and 5% max hit points damage. Creatures caught in the blast are knocked prone. Additionally, if we want to, we can pop out, deploy War Rig, Bile Usher, and if we do that, we're now riding in this huge, powerful mech, which is absolutely insane. We can cast biosynthetic missile silos. I don't even know what's happening here. Engaging at missile construction. But let's go ahead and end our turn here. While we're here, we can notice we also have this cool pet summon called the Raven, R-A-V-E-N. This is a really unique flying bird type of summon that can do a bunch of different really cool things. Your robotic Raven companion has a bunch of really cool abilities, like the main attack is Parasite Missile, fire 2 missiles that deal 3 poison damage and 3 acid damage. There's a bunch of text here you can read if you want to. There is also the node docking, Swarm Network, connect an ally to Swarm Network and grant them the following benefits, increase armor class by 1, blah blah blah. You can see this one has a bunch of really cool buffing stuff. It has a photo train transfusion. You can deploy a large force field. You can deploy a small force field. You can construct a field turret, which I think we're going to do right here. And we now have a field turret. We literally just have a turret, like the most insane turret you can possibly think of. If we also want to, we can call down a supply container, mark a location with high precise laser, and request an orbital dispatchment of some supplies. It does damage and also just gives us some supplies. We can call down another sentry turret. We can call down a biomarine, which we are going to do. And this is our really cool extra summon, a biomarine, biomechanical super soldier. Additionally, we can call down a Godhammer orbital strike, which is absolutely insane, and I'm not going to do it because you saw how much damage that's doing there, 90 to 900 damage. With our turret here, we can do a bunch of different things. We can S200 Tar Beetle FA, which is just this really nice boom. That's freaking sweet. It dropped a goo grenade, and I have a feeling that goo grenade is going to do some damage if somebody hits it. If we pop here, we have our super soldier who can do takedowns, agitate, and repel. You got some similar to monk abilities, as well as a concussion, which is kind of like a stunning strike. We have evolution elastic myomeres, evolve a section of muscle. This is just a really fun mod. There's a lot of info in here, so it is very complicated and there's a lot to look at, but it's so fun. It's really cool. And as you can see here, we're charging up something absolutely insane. I don't even know, but we can also just emergency expel. Well, I probably shouldn't have done that. But as you can see, this is just really crazy and really cool, and I'm really into it. This is a really fun mod to be able to mess around with. Well, so I was about to pop out of this and move on to the next mod, but then I finished my missile creation, and we can do our extermination protocol. So I just wanted to show this off. That's crazy. I love that so much. We have biofluid propulsion system, which effectively is just going to let us pick up our mech and fly it somewhere. If we use Shadow of the Colossus, we can use our movement speed to, let's fly, let's go over to the top of this building here. Here we go. How freaking cool is that? We have a giant biomechanical mech that can do this insane poison missile defense, call down a robotic Raven, a super soldier, and I don't even know, and you're empowered by the swarm. There's just a bunch of really cool abilities here to mess with. I love it. Our next mod is a new weapon that made me gasp when I saw it. The Viper Carbine Steampunk Rifle is the latest weapon mod from creator Scrounger, which adds a two-handed steampunk-style rifle into the game for you to use. Like other weapon mods by this creator, it features a few passive abilities to enhance your rifle damage. The damage increases as you level up, and it also unlocks a bunch of new, unique combat actions as you level up too. If we look at the character here, you can get a close-up view of the gun. It's really cool. It has this very steampunk vibe to it. It has this little ruby in the center of it, which is kind of the conduit for its energy. We can go back out and look at some of the different options for it. This mod does include two versions of the rifle, a strength-based and a dexterity-based version that you can use, so you can use it on any build that you want to. I grabbed this weapon out of the tutorial chest, and we can see that it has, at level 3, you may summon an arcane cannon that can attack, heal, and buff allies. Your cannon will progressively become stronger alongside you. Level 11, summon arcane cannon, 6 to 24 damage. Let's pop it right there. Now we have an arcane cannon. It's got these cool little legs. It looks just like the one from the arcane tower in the Underdark. Really cool. If we pull it up, we can see when you damage a target with a range attack or aimed shot while being in the vicinity of your cannon aura, it will perform a follow-up shot to the same target for 1d8 force damage. So just being in it, you're getting extra, you're going to go boom, and then your cannon is going to go boom. So you're going to get double shots off of it. And starting from level 1, you get uppercut and aimed shot. At level 3, you learn to summon the arcane cannon. At level 5, you get burning pellets and cannon upgrade. At level 7, you get lightning shot and your cannon upgrades. At level 9, you get sun flash shot and your cannon upgrades even more. And then at level 11, you get execute and your cannon upgrades completely. Some of these really cool abilities that we have here are our basic ranged attack, which is just like a really cool boom. We also have aimed shot, which does a little bit extra damage in exchange for your movement speed. Additionally, we have the sun flash shot. Shoot a slug that explodes with the intensity of the sun that blinds foes and disables steel watchers. That one is really useful and really awesome. We also have the lightning shot, which does 3d4 plus 8 lightning damage in addition to your regular shot damage. Strike an enemy with a lightning shot, 3 more bolts will leap from the target, electrifying as many as 3 other creatures within 22 meters. So this is effectively chain lightning as a gun. Really powerful and really cool. I always love these weapon mods by Scrounger because they are just really great to use and just do a lot of really fun things. Burning pellets here. Shoot a pellet that hits all creatures in a line and possibly pushes them back 5 meters. This one is kind of like a big push. How cool is that? I don't need to do a Psionic Strike on my arcane cannon because whatever. And we have execute. Disintegrate your target into a crumbly ash. Always critical hit against reeling targets. You can also apply reeling with your aimed shot. So you could theoretically just apply an aimed shot and then execute someone to get a critical hit and do 66 plus 30. And then, you know, crazy damage. Boom. That's insane. Really powerful. I love these weapon mods by Scrounger. Last week, we looked at a mod by Copper Leaves, which adds a bunch of cool gear for wizards and other spellcasters to use. Our next mod is the fighter's version of that. By the same creator, Copper Leaves, we have CL Grim Visag'd War Fighter Gear, which adds a bunch of new equipment tailor-made for the fighter class in several different cosmetic options. If we open the chest up here, we have the leather bracers, the Merkle bracers, fancy Gith bracers. They all do effectively the same thing and have the same buffs, these ones at least, but they have different cosmetics. So you can do an armor set that is the Ketheric armor set, or you could do the Gith armor set, or the Merkle armor set. I have equipped myself here with the full Merkle set, the Merkle circlet, cloak, plate, gloves, and boots, and they have a bunch of really cool abilities that are really awesome. And overall, we have an AC of 23. We have this really cool look to ourselves that is just really awesome. And oof, I love that. Next up, we have Ghost's Deck of Many Feats by The Ghost. This mod adds over 25 new feats into the game for you to create even more variety in your character builds. If we just scroll down and look at a few of the options, we have Close Fighter, can use reaction to hit anyone who enters your range. Spellcaster Experts, which gives you an extra first, second, third, and fourth level spell slot, a +1 to your spellcasting modifier, and a +3 to your spell save DC. We have Master of Archery, Critical Expert, which gives you a -3 roll to crit. Reactive, you can do 3 reactions. You also get +5 initiative, fast hands, extra action. You can really just kind of do whatever you want with all these different feat options. There's a ton to mess around with. Cold Mind, you can deal 1d8 ice damage plus your intelligence. Strong Mind, Really awesome. Bodyguard, what a joke. Every time you miss an enemy with melee range, it gets hideous laughter. That sounds like it's really fun for a clown build. It doesn't hit very well, but still just makes people fall apart. We also have Dumb Luck. You are just very lucky for no reason, and you gain a D4 on checks. Battle Mage, Hit and Run, Assassin's Frenzy. With Battle Mage, you can take, every time you hit an enemy, you get +2 Arcane Acuity, so you can get Arcane Acuity without wearing the helm, which is really powerful, and you can just take a feat that gives you that. Really cool. Next up, we have the Vampire Origin New mod by Lord President. This mod is an updated version of the Vampire Origin that this creator released several weeks ago, and comes with a bunch of new and improved abilities for you to play as a super powerful vampire that can even turn other characters into your own vampire spawn, including all the powers that come with it. As you can see here, it has a rundown of all the different abilities it gets. When you get, you can choose to either start your character as a full-blooded vampire or a vampire spawn, and you get all the different abilities that come with each of those, like a vampire bite, a vampire claw, gaseous form, and bat form. If you're a full vampire, dark vision, necrotic resistance, you can remove your vampirism on one of your vampire spawns. You also have an ability which allows you to become the Dark Urge. If you already have a Dark Urge in your party, don't do this. You can extinguish flames, which puts out all torches within a 32-meter radius, and you can become a vampire god. Really powerful. There's just a bunch of really cool abilities here, and it just improves upon a mod that already existed, but makes it even better. Our next mod is a simple but awesome quality of life mod, Everybody Moves Fast by Ha Chang J.A. This mod is available in a basic speed boost, 125%, and a 200% speed boost that makes your character run way faster outside of combat, so you can decrease travel time on your second, third, or 33rd run of the game. As we see here, I have the 200% speed enabled, and actually the NPCs running around Baldur's Gate are also moving incredibly fast, which mostly is just for them. It doesn't really change anything, but as we see here, I can go ahead and move, and we are moving way faster than we normally. Just go for a little walk, and let's see. You know, let's see how fast. I'm gonna tell my character to walk. I'm going to tell my character to walk up here onto the ramparts, and then we can watch them do their thing. Look at how fast she's going. That is way faster. You can see it kind of looks like she's moonwalking a little bit. That's because we're going 200% faster than normal. It just speeds up your game so that you can decrease your travel time, and it's not really so much fun as it is a really great utility and just really convenient to have. Woo, she's going up those stairs real fast. Keep going. Oh, here comes someone else. Go, baby, go. Everyone's moving fast today. Next up, we have the Hollyphant playable race mod by Rosprey, which gives you the ability to play as one of them mini golden flying elephants from Act 3. This mod is obviously a little bit silly, but why not play as a little elephant guy? I'm into it, and you should be too. It's looking a little weird here because he's wearing clothes. We're in the character creator. The in-game clothing options obviously aren't made for a small elephant to wear, so you're going to want to turn off your cosmetics so that you can wear elephant. You get some really cool actions here, like Joyous Trumpet, blow air from your trunk, causing no damage at all, but making a trumpet sound. Toot! We also get Trumpet of Blasting, blast a cone of celestial noise from your trunk that knocks creatures prone. Really funny. We get Trumpet of Sparkles, blast forth a cone of celestial sparkles. Evil creatures have disadvantage on the saving throw, and good creatures take no damage. We also get Hollyphant Headbutt, which does 1d4 piercing damage. Thump a foe with your trunked Wafflesome Noggin. And you get Fly, because obviously it's a flying elephant. You also get Sacred Flame, which is an okay cantrip. And we get Divine Health. The divine magic flowing within you prevents disease from affecting you. This is just a really silly but fun mod. Why not? And finally, our last mod is for all you orc lovers out there. Lydia's Heads for BT1 Half-Orc Volume 1 by Playman adds a few of the famed Lydia's Heads that we're all familiar with to Body Type 1 of the Half-Orc race. Finally, Half-Orc Supremacy can also look really pretty instead of just mean. You still have that classic Half-Orc resting bitch face, but with a couple extra looks to them. As you can see here, we have Violet, really cool. We have Rose, who also looks really nice. We have Dahlia, and we have Iris. Really cool. But that pretty much does it for this week's best new mods for Baldur's Gate 3. Which of these mods are you most excited for? Are there any mods you have on your wish list that you really want to play with? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video.